What up traders, what up investors? Today we're going to be doing something slightly different. We're going to be looking a before earnings report and then afters to kind of do like an analysis of what we thought, what basically kind of showing the mentality of earnings are a complete coin flip at times, and just kind of guesstimating on more or less on what the market makers within the options change are thinking. So we're going to be looking at Tesla, Microsoft, Facebook. Today, those are going to be the bigger ones that are reporting after the close today here on the 29th of April at 4 EST. So let's go ahead and swing over to the lovely charts. First on the deck, we're going to do Tesla. So if you didn't see my previous video on Tesla, so they're saying a plus or minus move of $85. But that $85 was from the 765. We've moved up nearly 20 bucks today. Again, not breaking that previous high here on basically Monday, maybe just slightly, tapping it slightly. The high of breaking above this, still kind of staying in within that movement. Looking again, Tesla is a complete coin flip. You don't know what's going to happen. It all comes down to the amount of deliveries they have, and we'll see where it goes from there. So that being said, if it goes well, and it pops off and it goes above 850-ish, that could be a huge upspring like we saw multiple times, and a lot of people are fear missing out, and that momentum could literally pop it off until like the 900s to 950s. That's one scenario. Second scenario is if they miss or they announce something bad or guidance or whatever, for whatever reason, and they kind of sell off. They sell off below basically the 685 level, and then you have the 5 and 8 moving averages starting to cross into the 21. This could be potentially more of a downturn, and this again, if you want to be long Tesla, this might be a great buying opportunity. For in my opinion, if we start coming off and it sells off whatever news around the 587 level with really strong support on the short-term trend on the daily chart is around 682, 685-ish, but again, if it misses and misses hard, that could just be a complete gap down, because we haven't filled this gap yet, and that's the only thing I'm slightly worried about. Not meaning the earnings report will happen, but this gap is kind of scary to me, because most of the times when the stock runs up, it has to fill this gap before it can try to go higher. So this is the only concern here on the technical side of Tesla. Again, they can come out and say, hey, everyone in the United States is getting a Model 3, whatever, and the stock can go to the moon. That's, yeah. All right, so that my overall prediction is it's a coin flip, but if it goes positive, it can easily run past 850 to 900. If it goes negative, it's probably going to hold this gap here and potentially push lower in the next coming days. Then we're going to do the old Microsoft. And this thing I've always talked about having a wonderful V-shaped bottom here, but now we're kind of trading sideways because it's due to earnings coming out and the big question mark within what's going to happen. So we can look at what they are predicting here for the market move is about $8 from where we're currently trading. So $8 from here, we're looking at 184. So we can do, it's 184 right there. Let's call that right 184. So potential pop up here, and then minus 8 would be 168, but basically right where the 21 is. So this is somewhat similar to the Tesla trade in the sense of the 21 is really important. That is where the downside is considering for a potential, if it does miss earnings, where it could close that this coming Friday. My apologies. Again, once this misses, if it does miss, this could really sell off and come down to fill this gap here, because again, it has a gap here just like Tesla did. Not as large of a gap, you can't drive a Tesla truck through it, but you can probably drive like a Model X through it with the wings open. But really strong support at this level since this whole ride up, but this gap is just kind of slightly scaring me. It looks like we kind of filled it here, maybe a little bit, much better than we did in Tesla. So the upside here is pretty strong. So if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I'm going to be doing this little box like this, and I'm going to say it's going to land somewhere in this box if I had a bet. That being said, we're going to leave it at that. Again, I owned the stock long term, so if it comes crashing down, I like to buy it around the 157 and below, mostly closer to the 150 level, because that's where the 200 exponential moving average comes in. The only thing that's slightly concerning too is the momentum is slowing down. I want to pop this out here on a weekly chart, but this on the weekly chart just looks really fantastic. Between still staying above the 8 and the 5 exponential moving averages, continue trying to push higher again, kind of slowing down some of the steam due to the fact of earnings coming up, and that's usually what does happen. People just kind of sit on their hands and wait, and then they react after once earning is released. And last but not least, which we might have time to do another one for you folks, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever they do, the Snapchat killer, whatever. Looking at this, they are saying pricing a move of plus or minus 1250. Okay, that's a lot more, isn't it? So 1250, and again, it just broke above. It hasn't closed above the 200-day since basically the beginning of March, this is a positive sign. Again, anything could happen, but this is a really good sign that we're continuously pushing higher, because it's only 1:15 here, p.m. here on the East Coast. That still has a couple hours of trading, but if it closes above it, this is a really positive sign for a potential rally. But again, the huge question mark is your earnings. So I just wanted to kind of do this. Okay, it did auto lock. So it said what, $12? So we're looking at this would be 10. So probably around 108ish. I mean 208ish. So we're going to create an alert there. That's kind of high up there. Then I just wanted to see if this would line up with any of the fib retracements. This is kind of above. If it stays above the 204.95, that is very bullish as well, because that's the 718 retracement from the low to high, and that's quite bullish. And then we'll do the low, which is 180. That kind of comes in basically where the 50% retracement could be, but it is slightly higher still than the overall trend of breaking down to the 21, as like we just looked at Microsoft and Tesla. That 21, this is much further away from the 21 than the previous other companies. So this is a slightly stronger bullish symbol. Again, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I'm going to draw I'm going to draw an oval for Facebook, because they're kind of circles over there, more ovals. Microsoft is a little more square. And then I want to look at this at a long-term chart. This looks really good. It just kind of staggering off, because again, it is earnings. I would like to see this momentum break above to become positive. This is also very positive looking news. I'm going to pull this to the daily chart, that this upward momentum trend, if we again break below the 183-ish level to the downside, we're looking for support around 183 initially. If that breaks, could go lower to the 180-ish level. We'll give you a little bit more information here. So the potential level at 180 is pretty strong, because there's multiple bars here showing off here. And again, that's just slightly where the 21 actually is on the daily. So that's around the daily chart. The 21 exponential moving average is around 180ish, or 178.4 if you want to be precise. So this is going to be on the downward support. Again, if they give horrible guidance and they say that someone hacked Facebook or whatever, that can cause the stock, of course, to go down more and break past that, and then we have to reevaluate what the support could be. And just for good measures, let's go ahead and do we can do Alright, we can look at ServiceNow, just drawing some quick fits and make sure they locked in above the 618, which is positive. Looking at the move on Friday is plus or minus $20. That's pretty significant, but it is a $300 stock. So basically, plus or minus from the current price at 322, which put it up at the 342, which is slightly past the 718 here. 78 percentile move. Meh. I could see this definitely going past here for sure. But again, this has such a momentum already. It's up 8% before earnings. Kind of a, I want to call it a red flag, but I'm always skeptical when I see a big move like that. So that's basically my breakdown on ServiceNow. Probably gonna be, I don't know. That's a hard one to call. That's a really hard one to call. All right, let's take a looky-loo at last but not least, Qualcomm. This is also reporting today after the close, and we're going to be doing we're doing this well before the market is closed to see on some of the measures of what we can be looking at for plus or minus moves. Again, Qualcomm, huge plays in 5G moving out, so looking at basically a $4 move here. So $4 move, we've already moved up nearly $3 today. That's quite significant. So $4 from here would be around 82. This is pretty interesting. This would be around the 618 percentile, which is quite positive, and this can break above this. This would be pretty bullish moving forward. And then the plus or minus from the 58 would be around the 74, sorry, 74, and about here-ish. That kind of, there's no significant lines there. That would kind of just break the overall trend of what it's currently having with being above the 5 and the 8. If it loses steam, it can easily sell off. I would honestly maybe see this lower due to the fact of a lot of other companies like AMD reported the other day, Applied Materials and things like that kind of didn't have the greatest guidance going forward, and seeing a pretty steep decline the beginning of this year, and basically their current quarter. So we can draw a little box down here, give them a little boxy box, probably around here. Alright, so I think that is actually, I want to do one more for you guys. Actually, I can do this all day. I can do eBay. This guy has been high flying, basically breaking out way above its highs of even this year. So the high of 42 goes way back into the summertime. We're going to do a quick little fib retracement here, and this thing has just been off to the races here, trading well above the 5 and the 8 exponential moving averages for like 2 or 3 weeks now. That is pretty bullish. On the earnings report, we're looking for plus or minus $2.50. Not a crazy move, but it's a $40 stock, so we're looking at $40 doing $2 higher. That's well above the $40 price limit, and that'd be coming in basically around the high of its all-time high of the last year, around 41. That would be a nice huge gap up for them for sure. And then on the downward momentum, we'd be looking closer to, what did it say, $2, so like 6-ish, right around, basically coming around to the 200 here on the exponential moving averages. So this one is super intriguing. Basically, if it does come down to the 200, this could be a fairly strong line of support, with the 21 coming up to try to catch it, to kind of create a pillow effect to kind of soften its fall if it does. This would be an interesting buy maybe for a trade if it does drop and the 200 and the 21 hold, to see on to getting some calls a little further out to see if we can get some trading opportunity there. Guys, we're going to be coming back after the close, and we'll be discussing the Tesla, Microsoft, Facebook, Qualcomm, ServiceNow, and eBay on what our post analysis is and so forth. Okay, and guys, thank you so much, and we'll be back within a couple hours. Peace. Alright, what up traders, what up investors here? We are to the second part. We kind of left off basically around 1:30ish Eastern Standard Time. The market has closed. It's closer to 6 o'clock now, p.m. in the evening. Make myself a nice tikka masala dinner. But while we're doing this, we're going to be looking at a quick analysis of what our predictions were. So again, I didn't have a crystal ball. No one else actually did. I don't think they did. But I just coin flipped, and by looking at the charts, I just kind of guesstimated, whatever you want to call it, on some couple key stocks that reported after earnings today. So we're going to look at Tesla, Microsoft, Facebook, Qualcomm, ServiceNow, and eBay. And you're going to be quite stunned. If I was a betting man, I could have made a lot of money. But I'm not a betting man. All right, first and foremost, we're going to be doing a little more detailed video about Tesla later on. But we're just going to go kind of fly through this real fast. We're looking at an hourly chart here, of course, after the close, which is the off-white kind of area here. It jumped basically from the 800 range, where it closed at today, and then jumped all the way up to 876. We were looking for 855-ish at the not the most, but that was the market makers. So this is out of a standard deviation move, so that potentially with this could continue to run substantially higher. Even though it's an after-hours trading, it's kind of the wild, wild west. So you got to be super careful if you're trading it outside of the normal parameters. So tomorrow morning, it's going to be super interesting to see what goes on there. Next is going to be the Satya Nadella at the old Microsoft. Also, nice beat there. They're kind of coming into what the estimates were guesstimating, as you can say, or the standard deviation of 1, which is around the 183.50-ish level, and kind of trading in around that range. So that kind of fits that box. Again, we'll see what happens Thursday morning when it opens up, but this looks great. A lot of growth there as well. Nice little quarter from them over there. Next is going to be the Zuck, the Facebook. They had a killer quarter, basically closing at 194. Basically, it's been trading for most of the day. Skyrocketed well past 200, past 210, all the way up to 217, the high, but now kind of trading in around the 214 range. Again, this is also outside the expected move, so we could see potential more uprise into Thursday for potential more of a rally. So that was that, and next we're going to go to Qualcomm. Again, you saw that we had the oval here, so we betted it was going to go higher. This is the only one I believe that I didn't predict right. We predicted actually lower. That was based off AMD, LAN research, and all those other chip manufacturers and so forth. But they're actually doing fantastic. 5G is growing. They're ready for the demand. They're pumping it out. Factories are fully operational. Here we go. We were looking for a move to around 81 if it was positive. So that can still happen tomorrow. It basically nixed out this the negative down here. So we're going to look for a potential move past the 81.50 level for some more upward momentum. Next is going to be ServiceNow. We also predicted a pretty big move in this because I think it was like plus or minus $20. This thing has skyrocketed kind of past that $20 limit. Basically, it was closing. It had a huge run all day. I think when we first commented on it was around 1 o'clock, and we're like, it's already up 8%. Like this is going to probably go down. But with the strange thing of looking at past history, this thing has actually run up to earnings quite a bit. And then with the combination of it just having super strength on the momentum down here, on the Chaikin money flow, the RSI was printing very positively. It just blew it out of the water. Again, this is a complete coin flip. They could have said terribly negative things. The chart can't sometimes dictate that. So that being said, be very careful out there when you're flipping the coin for earnings. Again, they're trading at around 350, and we were looking around like the 340, so $10 higher. Again, outside of the standard deviation move, this could potentially run even to tomorrow. And I think we actually got eBay wrong too. Let me see what I put on eBay. Oh, I didn't get an eBay wrong. Okay, well that sucks. That sucks for them. I like eBay. So they are printing lower, as we kind of suspected, because it had a pretty massive run into earnings. Kind of like this huge run up here, kind of like Netflix did, and we just thought that whole upside potential, anything that was baked in has already been accounted for. So this would be more likely to be trading around the $36 level come Thursday, Friday. So we're looking for that move there. So that was meet that criteria. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any comments, questions, please leave them down below. We're probably going to be doing a live stream on Friday. It looks like that is the #1 winner so far right now in the community poll. If you have any comments or questions, we're looking at potentially starting a Patreon to kind of make a very cheap monthly subscription, anywhere from $3 to $5. Maybe just have it open to 25 people and kind of do like a very cool trading room, aka investing room, and we'll just see how that goes. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.